So here's Andy Warhol, and he figured out something when he looked at how he produced his art and what was valuable to the art. He realized a few things. One, me being out with potential buyers, telling them the stories of my art and my life, that's actually what makes art valuable. There's a great book called Show Your Work by Austin Kleon.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm not even an artist per se, you know, I do business stuff, but I love the idea of like understanding what we do that creates value. Because that's in the book, I make this strong argument of like, replace your time, fill it once you buy it back with things that light you up, that actually move your business forward, that you would do. Like the whole part about building an empire is creating a life that you never have to retire from, with unlimited creativity. So Andy Warhol saw that, hey, my time should be better spent talking to customers and coming up with creative ideas to play with. So he created this thing called The Factory, and he had like a dozen interns that he would walk in and he would do essentially the 10-80-10 rule, where he would be like, I got this crazy idea. Let's do this treatment on this photography or whatever, and like do a bunch of variations, right? And I think that's if anybody's stuck on this about their creative output, I would actually argue that you will do more creativity. I think you'll have more it's like almost like more taste making. You'll be able to have more to look at. You have a team and they're showing you stuff and they're like, hey, I found this really cool site that lets us get these kind of audio clips. And you're like, oh, and then you as the creative can be the person that does the remixes, right? That goes, I wonder if we took that audio output and paired it with this visual treatment, how would that look? And instead of you having to do it, they literally can do it while you go to your next meeting. You know, you might go close a new sponsor, or, you know, do the thing only you can do, be on this show, right?
Yeah.
But like the way I think about it and what Andy inspired me, Tom Clancy, I mean, just so people know, Tom Clancy's dead and he still writes best-selling books.
Wow.
Think about that idea.
Yeah.
He still writes best-selling books.
That's
he
wild.
is no longer here on earth. Why? Because they built a system around his creative output. And a lot of people, like I remember, I only found this out because I watched the pilot. I was at the lounge in Toronto at the airport and he was reading this book and it was like thick. And I was like, wow, that's Tom Clancy. Like, he goes, yeah, it's crazy because he's not even alive.
Yeah.
I go, he's not alive? He's like, no, he died like 10 years ago. And I was like, and you still read the book? He goes, I really like the book.
Wow.
I like the format. I like the structure. I like that type of writing. And they found people that could essentially replicate his voice and his structure. And I think that's the part that it attacks the ego.
Yeah.
Right. But I would argue that what I would love for every creative, and all the podcasters I've talked to, is like, I want you to be on air. That's your unique genius, the way you show up, you ask questions and you engage with but as soon as the cameras are done, move on. And build a team that can take all this stuff and then just have it show up on social media, show up, you know, and support the sponsors, do all this stuff. And I think and then do more of that, right? Like buy back your time to go produce other shows like you're doing, like, you know, and just look at this stuff.